So our main topic tonight is focusing on artificial intelligence, the normal abbreviation of AI. So this is AI for real people. This is the title of our main section tonight. You've been bombarded through magazines, television articles, all sorts of websites about the wonderful things that AI is going to give humanity. Tesla, autonomous vehicles and the like. We've heard about Amazon's delivery drones. In the medical field, you've got artificial intelligence helping with breast cancer diagnosis and a lot of things. Closer to home, you might own a car with lane assist. Here are those three examples I've given. On the left, you've got a Tesla autonomous truck with a view from the cab as it goes down the road. And that's in development and testing. In the middle, you've got Amazon delivery drones, and they are actually in operation. Supposedly, by the end of 2024, they're going to be in use in the UK. I'm guessing that's going to start in London. On the right-hand side, you've got the use of AI to assist radiographers doing breast cancer screening. One of the things with breast cancer screening, and I'm guessing lots of screening, where humans spend their day just doing diagnostics on a screen, it must be quite tiring on the eyes. Having artificial intelligence to help with that process might stop a few missed instances of breast cancer and presumably other cancers as well. The left-hand one, the autonomous vehicles, that was what made me think about that. It looks fine on a clear road where you can see the lines. They just had massive snowfalls in the States. I can't see autonomous vehicles handling a whiteout very well, but I'm sure there's some sort of technology or work to be done in that field yet. However interesting and useful these ideas are, and they're going to become commonplace in the next year or two, even here in the UK, I think most of the techies and the press are completely missing the point about immediate, sort of short to medium term areas of interest where AI could be a game changer. And for us as a community of DIY investors, it's this area that I'm keen to explore and start developing and using. And that's pretty much what's been the focus of my attention since we last met. So tonight, I'm just going to focus on three main areas as I start this process of looking at AI for what I call real people, you and me. And the first one is a very real game changer that since we last met at the beginning of November, I now use it every day. And free is an important point when you're trying something new. Then I'm going to carry on and give an overview of AI because some of you may consider yourselves to be novices. I think it's good to start from the beginning. Always a good place to start, as I say. Then I want to show you practical examples that I'm using to help with my DIY investing, and something that all of you can use too. So perhaps part of what I'll be doing in the next year or two will be using some of my time to explore these areas side by side with the other investing angles that I'm pursuing. Let's go through these three sections. I'll be interested when we get to the Q&A later what you all make of it. The next item is, in my opinion, a real game changer for a variety of reasons. And I'm guessing that you're all familiar with this. This is the Google Chrome search that comes up if you and I go on and want to look for a present for your partner or a holiday somewhere maybe, or what's the traffic doing locally. You'd go on to Google or Firefox or any other search engine and search for. Nice simple interface. It's clearly Google. It's got a bar where you're going to stick in your search term. My friend Sherlock, when he saw me doing this, said, "What's your point, Mick?" Well, this is me just plugging in on Google. What's the best alternative to SharePad? I thought, well, I've got to put some search term in to illustrate what I'm talking about. So I just put that in. I could have put best alternative to ShareScope as they're closing it down eventually. What comes up is this on the screen in front of you. Big G is giving me, and gives you the same answers probably, is information that the company or person paying the most appears at the top of that list on page 1. It's how Google works and how they make their money. It's the same for pretty much any search engine, with one or two exceptions, DuckDuckGo and one or two others supposedly less influenced by adverts. So you can see down here, the four I've arrowed are all sponsored. So the best alternative to SharePad, if I ask any of you on the meeting tonight, best alternative to SharePad, somewhere in there you'd have Stockopedia. Stockopedia not in the results, is it? Not on that screen that comes up. What you've got is 4 sponsored companies, and some of these appear to be more to do with accountancy rather than stocks and shares. As soon as you move away from searching for this new item, let's say you put that search in, you didn't like it, you're either going to go to the second page or you put another search term in, and unless you open up lots of different tabs, which I find confusing, the results are lost. But there is an alternative, and this alternative works for any search engine, or at least the major ones. So let me show you. There you go. That's the alternative. And you say to me, Mick, that looks like the same thing. So this is going to work better, but why is it going to work better? Because it's still Google Chrome. And Google Chrome usually puts up the bookmarks that you use most in the middle, as you can see here. That clue up in the top left is why this is going to work better. And that clue is Perplexity. The website is Perplexity.AI, and the extension AI indicates that it's artificial intelligence. So I thought I'm going to have to explain to you guys what's Perplexity. So I thought, well, I'll ask Perplexity. I put it in, and it comes up with the answer, as you'd expect. It's a free AI-powered answer engine. It's not a search engine, it's an answer engine. Subtle difference. It has a free version, and you can have a paid version with more functionality. So I'm going to stick with the free version for tonight. So I put in the free version because if I'd have switched that over to Pro, I've actually taken out a Pro account. I think it's worth it, but for everyday use, you probably don't need that. So I've put that same question, what's the best alternative to SharePad? And up comes the answer. You can actually close that left-hand search bar if you like. I like to have it open. It's the way I work. The answer has, at the top, Stockopedia. It's got some other bits which may or may not be of any use, but certainly it's got Stockopedia, which is what I would expect to see. It says, when choosing an alternative, consider factors such as price, coverage, UK, US, global markets, specific features needed, stock screening, portfolio analysis, customer support, user interface. And the thing to note is Perplexity doesn't have any adverts, at least not yet. On the right-hand side, which I've not shown you, is that you can search images, videos, or generate an image. It also gives you the sources. It tells you where it's got the information from. Now, you didn't see that on Google, other than the fact that those sponsored links will be from particular companies. These little numbers are a reference to the sources that Perplexity has used. And if it's a particularly important piece of information, you can check that out. You can also ask follow-up questions. If I wanted to pick up on some of these points, like applications that have charting ability, that would come back with different results. But this follow-up angle is particularly useful because it gives you the answer almost like a stream of information. The previous answer will scroll off the top of the screen, but you can go back up and see it and print it. Here is a little copy button, which I could copy and drop anywhere else. If I'm doing research, I could drop it into Notion, a Word document, or a Portico Plaza Slack channel, or a blog post. I can do all sorts of things. So my advice to you today is to add, at the very least, the free version of Perplexity to whatever your search engine of choice is. I've been using Chrome for some while. It's got one or two nice plugins that I use. So I'm going to carry on using Chrome, but I've got Perplexity on it open and in use every single day since I've found out about it. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover, because that's a nice freebie that would get you started with using AI and helping with your research.